figures in the night, exchanging glances, wandering in the night. What were the chances we'd be sharing love before the night was through?
Thanks, Frankie. Thanks, Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes, Frankie Sinatra. Unfortunately, mate, your song is no longer valid in our world that we're currently living in. Because if you're a stranger in the night and you fancy checking out someone, making extended eye contact with someone, thinking, you know what, I'll go and talk to that person now. I'm attracted to them and I want to get to know them. You can't. Or you're not supposed to. What do I mean? Well, I'll give you a couple of glaring examples. First things first, my sister, she had a party last week, and it was in a cafe, restaurant, bar type of thing. And she went in a group of, I think there were 12 of them. And there were no more than 6 people allowed per table. So what she did was they broke off into 2 groups. So there were 6 and 6 of them on either table. And when there was conversation and chatter between the 2 tables and movement of the people who knew each other between the 2 tables, there was a inspector in this bar, and he came over and told them that they're not supposed to be interacting between other tables. They're meant to keep to each other, keep to themselves. And one of the girls on the table, I don't know which one, my sister's or the other one, started having a go at this guy, saying, you don't understand, we all know each other, you can't do this to us, we all came together, we just got told to sit on 2 different tables, you can't make these rules up, we know each other, of course we can talk to each other, we all know each other, we all work together, we all hang together regularly, and you can't stop us from socialising because we know each other. Now, something ridiculous, absolutely ludicrous that I saw yesterday, but in a way, they can't say they had it not coming to them, which I'll get to in a little while. Have a look at this. Now, this is a bar or a pub in London, in England, and I picked this up off a website yesterday, this picture. Now, you can read this. I don't know if you can. It's called London Fields, welcome to our tap room. And there's certain rules that people need to abide by in this tap room, in this bar. Now, I'll read them out. I don't know if it's clear, but I'll try and make this the thumbnail to the video, so you can read the thumbnail when it's up there. But I'll read it out to you now from my phone screen, so you'll get a better understanding of what these rules are about. Now, London Fields, welcome to our tap room. A face covering when entering and exiting or moving around the tap room. Use alcohol hand gel before entering the tap room. 6 people maximum to a table. No handshaking, high-fiving, or extended eye contact with anyone not on your table. Table service only. Give us a wave if you need a call. Give us a wave if you need us, sorry. 2 people maximum in our toilets at one time. Now, this whole idea of not being able to make extended eye contact at a table with anyone not at your table, this is going to basically kill off, put a knife through, and absolutely kill off any kind of meeting strangers in a public setting that you fancy, that you want to get to know better. Like Frank Sinatra said, strangers in the night exchanging glances. We're not allowed to do that anymore. The world is now moving into this crazy world of top-down authoritarian dominance, where eventually human-to-human contact, I believe, will all be banned, and it will all be done electronically. So you won't be able to contact or get close to strangers that you want to get to know better like you used to in the good old days. You'll have to do it through an app or through a website. That's right, they're going to force you online to socialise, to meet, and to get to know someone better. Now, I'm not for or against this because it doesn't really affect me. I don't really care about these things much anymore. But for young kids growing up in this world, they're going to know nothing of what the world was before. They are going to possibly hear these songs, about two people exchanging glances across a bar, liking the way each other were, liking something about them, getting to know them better in person, and then forming a relationship and maybe who knows what more from there. But for young kids these days, they're not going to know this experience. They're only going to know tapping the button on an app where they like the look of someone and they like their bio, they like their profile, they tap the app and they hope that the other person taps back. Sorry, it's early morning, I'll take a sip of my coffee. Where they like the other person and they hope the other person taps back. And they're going to be forcing people to communicate solely online. This is what I believe is going to happen in the coming future. Now, on the one hand, as I was saying earlier in the video, some certain group of people had it coming to them, and this is the group of dating coaches that are referred to mainly as pickup artists, PUAs, who try to help males attract women into their lives by going out and using cold approach techniques or person-to-person techniques, where you will eventually be meeting a stranger that you fancy meeting and successfully taking it through to dating and relationship with that person. Now, you all know that I've had my dabble into that industry many years ago, and many other guys have had dabbles into that industry, some successful, most unsuccessful. Now, the prices that they charge without any kind of guarantee that you have any success are quite exorbitant. Most of these courses that they run, these dating coaches and pickup artists. But they can't say they've had it not coming to them, because all the people that they lied to and told them that it's not about their looks, it's not about this, that, and the other, it's got nothing to do with their height, it's got nothing to do with their appearance, etc., etc. And they con them in, thinking that it's going to work for them, and people, after shelling out thousands of dollars, realise it's not for them, and then they couldn't get their money back. These dating coaches and PUAs, a lot of them made off with people's money without any success on the people's behalf. They can't say they had it coming to them, because if the rules that are being put down in place for society now are going to be put into effect forever, and I believe they will be. I don't believe anything that's been rolled out during this pandemic is going to ever be rolled back. I believe that these industries are going to face a natural death, and they can't say they had it not coming to them. So in a way, what is going on is karma. Is karma for these people who ripped off others, innocent people, and is karma because they lied. They basically lied, and they said, you can use all these techniques and tricks to attract a member of the opposite sex that you're into in person, but it didn't work for a lot of people. And that is why it's karma for them. Am I happy about that? Well, yes, in a way I am, but in reality, I'm not. And here's why. I don't believe where we're heading to on this planet is a good thing. I think it's a terrible world which is going to be dominated by technology. We're all going to be out of work. We're going to be robotized, or places in this world are going to be taken over by artificial intelligence. And that's a scary thing, because jobs will go, interpersonal contact and relationships will go, and just the general feel of life won't be ever the same again. We're basically going to be computerized, forced onto artificial intelligence and computers for the rest of our lives, to think, to communicate, to work, to behave. And that is something scary, and that is something terrible that I fear is coming around the corner. And all signs point to it happening. Now, I think you all know my feelings about what's going on at the moment, and I think it's a ruse. But this whole idea that people can't exchange glances with strangers anymore for the fact that it's going to, heaven forbid, that if they exchange glances and they like the way each other, that they fall in love with each other and they're total strangers, and they're going to go and contact each other. Heaven forbid that one of those people should have an invisible, deadly virus that not only will they spread to the person they try to get to know better, that person and those two people may spread it to thousands upon thousands of other people, and we may have hundreds upon hundreds of deaths because of it. Oh my gosh, heaven forbid. Is this the crazy world we're going to live in? Is this really the crazy world that we are going to be pushing this planet towards? I fear it is. I fear. I'm not going to say what I really think about this virus on this channel, because I've already had a strike. But I don't believe that. Let's put it this way. I don't believe 100%. I don't believe most of what's being told to me. And I think when people are saying, "Why don't you trust us and why don't you believe us?" it shows how desperate they are to get their lies out. And certain politicians around the world have been saying, "You need to trust us, you need to believe us." Why say that? Why say that? Why? Because they're losing the narrative. Because they're basically losing their people to the truth. And people are seeing beyond what's being told to them on TVs and on radios and on mass media. People are looking beyond this. People can see, people know they're being deceived, they're being lied to. And I believe the politicians know that this may all be one big fabrication. And that's why they're desperately trying to get you to believe them, by pleading to believe them, as an act of desperation, because they're losing their people, they're losing the narrative, they're losing the battle.